So Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2. We are 14 points clear of Liverpool. We have put them to the sword today. It wasn't easy if you look at the score. If you just looked at the score and went 3-2, you'd think, oh, hard-fought game. The reality is, Kenny, and you was there, we dominated that game pretty much for most of it, apart from a 25 minutes goal in the first half. But then we sucker punched them on half time. Two stupid, costly mistakes from both of our centre-backs, one each today, which let them equalise twice. But we fully deserved that today, didn't we, Kenny? What did you make of that being at the ground, mate?
Fully deserved it. It was like one of the things we learned today is that you don't learn as much from playing against Spurs as you would do against Liverpool, because this is a team that came to win. You know, he played 4-2-4. So basically, what he was banking on was the passing ability of Thiago, and also like Henderson winning the ball back and then being able to dominate position and pin us back. And, you know, as you said, for 25 minutes, they were able to do that. But you know, one thing I liked about this team, there's one word that Ian Dowie uses, is bounce back ability. And I think when you look at the game, there was resilience from us and to a certain extent for them. But I think when we went 1-0 up, there was enough time for Liverpool to get their equaliser. And then just before half-time, we made it 2-1, and then they get their equaliser again. If you score the third goal, it's really hard in footballing terms to, lift yourself for a third time to get an equaliser. And I think that's what I liked about us, is that we've got the goal in a crucial time. Yes, there was enough minutes, time, if you like, for us to get that, for Liverpool to get the third goal. But you know what happened? Not only did we mentally destroy them, because what I mean by mentally destroy them is that we became compact. We thought, right, never again. We worked our nuts off to get that third goal. So what we're going to do is that we're going to make ourselves difficult a bit. We're going to, play the referee a bit, keep our shape, and make Liverpool go long. If they're going to put their crosses in, we're going to make sure that we head the ball out. We're going to make sure, we get our tackles. You know what? That is just as vital as putting the ball in and having the creativity. Because, a lot of us, I love good defending, but I also like football with a bit of panache. But this is a time when you can only play football with a bit of panache when you're dominating. It's like today's selection. I was fuming when Tommy Asu got the nod over Tierney. But Tommy Asu, justified his selection, and he worked his nuts off. He gave Salah nothing.
Mate, Salah got pocketed. Let's be real. Yeah. He pocketed him. Apart from that 100%. One where he dinked inside and took a shot. Yeah. Other than that, Salah, I didn't know was on the pitch until his number went up and got subbed.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing about that as well, is that players like Salah, what he relies on is to get the ball, flick it past the defender and use his pace. But one thing you've got to like about Tommy Asu, his body shape is beautiful when players run at him. It's a case of, right, I may not be as quick as you, but you're not going to be able to go down the side of me, because the body, when you get your body shape like that, they can't go around you down your left-hand side. They can't come in around you on your right-hand side, because they go down the left-hand side, you're going to make a tackle. You go inside of the, like on the right foot, you make a tackle. And that's one thing about him. His body shape was beautiful, in terms of defending. Out of all the players in that defence, he got his body shape right. He was never in a situation where he was on the retreat and then, you can make mistakes. And as you said, both our centre-halves were kind of, at fault. But why they're at fault? It's not because they're bad footballers. It's because of our Liverpool, quick passing. The second goal out of nothing. You went, huh?
That was Saliba just running out like Trent did for our first goal. Just run out for no reason and then bang, it's in the back of the net.
Yeah, and Liverpool's first goal against, Nunez, I thought played well, got in front of Miguel Gabriel. But again, you learn from that, and and sometimes you've got to learn from that within a football match, and we did that really well.
Oh, 100%. The first half, I thought the first 20 minutes, I thought we were superb. And Gabriel Martinelli, he loves playing against Liverpool, mate. Last season, you was there, Kenny. We lost 3-1. But Gabriel Martinelli's performance last season was good enough to get in that Liverpool team last season.
100%. He's one, if we don't give him a new contract, there's going to be big teams who probably have had, bigger ambitions than us, even in their league, who are going to want him. Klopp will like him. We know that my guy Potter would like him, and even someone like Man United would like him. And I think that's the kind of play you want to type. But Gabby's benefiting from is from these namesake Gabby, Jesus, because what's happening is that he's got movement to work with. In terms of Lacazette, we all got our opinions on Lacazette, and they vary. They go from one extreme to the other. Lacazette, will hold the ball up, but where is the work rate? Where's the work rate off the ball? With Jesus, you got the work rate off the ball, and that's one of the things
and
about
you've
it.
got the skill and the
Exactly.
quick and
Yes.
he's hard as nails, mate. Like people don't realise how tough that boy is. Like, and I didn't. Like, I see him at City, I never knew. But now
it's a mental thing. It's mental, though. It's mental.
Yeah, it is.
When you're confident, toughness comes from confidence. Because at the end of the day, when you use your strength, yes, there's probably going to be someone who's bigger than you. But the thing, it's all about your body weight. Can you lift your own body weight? Can you use the maximum of your strength? If you use your full maximum and you're in the right shape, then people are going to bounce with you. And it's about hard work. Like sometimes Lacazette will hold the ball off and he uses his strength, but it's not in a positive way. Like Jason will use his strength. He said, right, boom, over one, boom, forward. Lacazette, hold the ball up. Oh, who's going to help me out here? And I think that's one thing we're benefiting on a lot, is that not only is Gabby got movement from his mate Jesus, what's happening? He's helping Saka as well. And you know what? One of the things about it is because he's making so much space, goals are coming from all over the team. And that's what we've always wanted, because I said it once and I say it 1,000 times. And I sound like a broken record. If you want to be successful, in the league or get in the top four or win trophies, 4 players have to score between 10 and 15 goals a season in the league. They have to. You can't rely on one player. Gabriel Jesus, love it a bit, but he's not going to get us 20 goals. But he doesn't have to. Because he can get us 15.
It up for Martinelli,
exactly.
He opens it up for Saka, he opens it up for Xhaka, Odegaard. I don't think Odegaard was insane today. I don't think he was great.
Well, he struggled. He struggled with the first press.
Yeah, but in the game against Tottenham, he got hooked. In the game today, he got hooked. But that's not saying he was bad. That was just saying that the game, he wasn't on the level of the other players in them forward areas around him, because they were on it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's no disgrace in that, because you think about, we were saying the same thing about, Bukayo Saka, where we felt he wasn't on that same level as everyone else. But if you look at the Tottenham game last week, he was really up for it. He was really getting involved in the play. There were times when he was making bad decisions, but today, that's a continuation of his form. And even when he came on Thursday, I didn't like the fact he came on, but it's kind of momentum. And I think what's happening right now is that you're going to have a situation where, one player's going to lose form, and so it's up to the other player to put his hand up. Because let's face it, right?
And at the momentum, we're doing that. Exactly. If Odegaard's not great, then Saka turns up.
And
Gabby turns up. Martinelli turns up.
And that's what you learn. And that's what you've got to learn as well, is that you have to put your hands up, because there are competition for places in certain areas, especially when you look at the, like Fabio Vieira. All intents and purposes, he had a very good game on Thursday. He's itching to come on the field. He wants to be part of this. And Tierney as well, harshly dealt with. I think what's happening is that I thought it was a harsh decision, but from a footballing perspective, he didn't want Salah to run away from Kieran and then create other spaces. So Tomiyasu, his body shape and his strength as well, it's a decision. It could have gone wrong. It could have gone either way. But, Mikel gambled and he won.
Well, that's what I said in the build-up on the watch-along. I said I was fuming Tierney didn't start. But at the same time, it was either going to go one way or the other. It's either an absolute masterstroke, which it turned out to be, or that would be the reason we don't win the game. And it turned out, and this is why we don't get paid $8 million a year, Kenny, right? Because nobody wanted Tomiyasu at left back after his performance for 20 minutes the other night at left back. Yeah, but right back, he's solid. Today, he showed that quality at left back as well. Yeah, Granit Xhaka in the first half was isolating Partey. Partey looked out of his depth in the first half. As soon as Xhaka dropped back a little bit in the second half, they didn't do nothing. The only chance they really had, was in the second half.
I think that's the thing. We struggled a bit with a 4-2-4, because when it's a 4-3-3, it's 3 against 3, so it's equal. But what's happening with a 4-2-4? It could go wrong, because when we're on the attack, we play through Liverpool, we get straight at their back four. But when they're dominating the ball, they've got enough bodies forward. And if you look at this first goal, is because they had enough. They had the four and they had enough bodies forward. That way, it's hard to track a run. And I think it was a gamble by Klopp, but it's a thing where at the moment he's thinking, right, you know what? We're going to have to score 2 or 3 goals, even 4, to win a football match now because we can't keep the score down. So it's kind of, the best form of defence and attack. And I think we struggled with that initially. And obviously Thomas struggled with that as well because Thomas Partey should have been where he should be, where he normally is. But because Liverpool had men forward, we were relying probably on Granit to break the press, and we were relying on Martin Odegaard, who struggled with the 4-2-4 as well, to be the first player to the press. And he wasn't able to do that in a way that he's been doing quite a lot last season, this season. And I think that's where Liverpool, when you talk about that 25-minute spell, I get where you're coming from, because that 25-minute spell was because we struggled with that extra man and those 4 forwards.
100%. Very quickly, Kenny, before I let you go, mate, who was your man in the match today?
My man in the match today, you've got to give it to Bukayo, because I think what's happening, it's very easy to look at players like, look at the usual suspects. For today, the way he's come back, in terms of he made a bit of a comeback against Spurs, but today, the way he kind of scored his goal, he was part of the build up for the first goal as well. And the bounce back ability to take the penalty, but he was really, really running Liverpool ragged. He was really causing a lot of problems to Tsimikas, and it was kind of pushing Liverpool back. And I think that's the level that Saka was producing last season and before. Don't get me wrong, he is tired. And he was in the Evening Standard magazine where he says he's not tired, that he feels fresh as everything. He's going to say that, isn't he? But the fact is that a game like this, a big game against a big opponent who've turned us over, he turned up today, and you can't say anything negative about what he's done. There are going to be times when he's going to make the wrong decisions, but you know what? He's got to learn. He's got to learn on the job. Just like they're asking us to let Mikel learn on the job. Although we do disagree with that, and we think, hang on, it's too big a job to learn a job. I think in terms of Bukayo, it's one of the things where he's a young lad, and we may not see his prime for a few years. But let's hope that they're at Arsenal that we see his prime.
100%. Well said, mate. Listen, get home safe. I'm going to do
one thing I'm going to say,
mate.
Right, is that it's a privilege to watch this great club. The Ashburton Army are Creditors Football Club. Let me tell you something now. When you go and watch Arsenal, it's a privilege for me to have a ticket. Arsenal let you in, and if Arsenal let you in, then you have to not put the club into disrepute. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love the Ashburton Army, is because they work with the atmosphere. And sometimes it's not a case of what Arsenal do for you, it's what you could do for the club. And when people say, why do you love Arsenal? Do they support you? I'm not here to be supported by Arsenal Football Club. I'm here to help them with their atmosphere, get behind the team, and get behind the club, because the club's the biggest star. And I think that's where it is. Arsenal, I'm here as a privileged guest, because it's a privilege to watch this play. And I think sometimes some people need to realise that.
100%. Well said, mate. Listen, get home safe, and I'll be doing player ratings in about half an hour. If you're home, then join in. If not, I'll do it with Jez. But listen, stay safe, get home, mate. And
definitely.
Thank you very much, mate.
Love you loads, mate.
Take care.
Come on.
Love you, mate.